Hi there, I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy, here every week talking about the night sky this week. Today is July 19th, but we have usually our show on July 17th, so that's what it's marked as, July 17th, 2023. Welcome. Hope you're having a good week so far. Lots of things happening in the sky. Love to hear what you're watching and what your sky conditions are wherever you are. Just put them into the comment section wherever you are around the world. And if you like this video, please do consider subscribing. It means a lot. It lets me bring these videos every week to your home. So make sure you subscribe whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are. Please do show your support, and don't forget to hit that notification button as well so you don't miss the next video. Without further ado, let's just jump in right away. One of the big things, of course, are talking about solar storms. So this past week, here, this is my favorite site, spaceweather.com. There was a big storm that appeared on the sun, a solar flare. And this is what I've been actually talking a lot about in the news, doing a lot of interviews everywhere about this gigantic flare. As you can see on this particular video, there is a really gigantic flare that was produced on early hours of July 18th. So this was Tuesday on July 18th in the early morning hours, North American time. So it was dark when we were here where I am, like I'm in Montreal, Canada. It was, busy sleeping, and this thing erupted on the surface of the sun, huge solar flare. And it, of course, the X-ray radiation associated with this flare reached the Earth in about 8.5 minutes, and it caused radio blackouts as it was ionizing the upper atmosphere on the day side of the Earth. So the Asia Pacific side, there were patchworks of radio blackouts lasting a few minutes at a time because of this solar flare. It's absolutely amazing to think of the power that the sun has, despite being 150 million kilometers away. And we see this kind of effect thanks to, of course, our satellites everywhere. We can pick up this gigantic solar flare, many times larger than our Earth, of course. But it's a medium class, it was a medium class flare on the sun. It can get even bigger. We're on the upswing of the solar cycle, the 11-year natural cycle of activity of the sun, where we see more sunspots. We're seeing much more sunspots. You can see here, let me just zoom in and show you. There's some sunspots right there. You can see on the surface that has been marked off for us here. These are some of these. This one over here that I'm circling sparkling, and this one over here are actually visible to the unaided eye. If you happen to have something like, let me see if I have it here handy, solar glasses, eclipse glasses, something like this. If you have something like this and you can put them that you used maybe to watch the eclipse of the sun, this is something you could take out and look at the disk of the sun safely, because remember, with the unaided eye, it's dangerous. You can actually go blind by staring at the sun and damage your eye permanently. So you need something safe like solar filter glasses. You might have something like this handy. If you do, take a look at the sun. You can actually see the freckles on the sun, those sunspots. With the just your eyes, or at sunset with all that smoke here in North America going across our skies, smoke particles, the sun is darkened and noticeably during sunset, and you can see those dots. It's really incredible that you can see these sunspots, much bigger each of them than our entire planet Earth. And so these are producing those solar flares, basically this geyser-like X-ray radiation that's spilling out of the sun, and it's creating this effects here on Earth. We are, like I said, on the upswing of the cycle of the sun activity, peaking in 2025, early 2025, maybe late 2024. And so we're going to see more and more of those sunspots, even more intense solar flares. So there could be a lot of interesting things happen. And on spaceweather.com, they're talking about here a geomagnetic storm watch associated with that flare. So right now, there is a possibility that on July 20th, this coronal mass ejection may arrive here on our planet. Coronal mass ejections are charged particle clouds that are thrown off the sun during these solar storms, and it can basically hit our magnetic field around our planet and create conditions perfect for triggering, auroras, northern lights. So do be on the lookout. Seems like July 20th. So basically tomorrow night, Thursday night this week is the time to go out. Best place to look is towards the north. The higher latitude you are, closer to the North Pole or South Pole, the better your chance of seeing something. And if all things go as we expect, we might have some good light shows for some of us around the world. So the only way to know is just to go outside, look towards the north, try to get out of the city with light from light pollution, darker skies, better conditions to seeing auroras. And if you have a smartphone, also, guys, look at this. If you guys have maybe a more modern smartphone, this is an iPhone 12 Pro Max that I have here. The cameras are sensitive enough to pick up some of the colors and light of auroras that maybe your eye won't be able to pick up. It's too faint for our human eyes, but the camera phones will be able to pick them up. So what I usually do is when I'm waiting for auroras to happen, I snap some pictures, even just by freehand, some 5 second, 10 seconds. I hold my camera as steady as possible. Maybe a tripod, of course, would help even better. But if you do that, you can really get a much better view of what could be coming in terms of northern lights displays. Your camera phone will pick up much better the faint light before they actually kick in. So if there's something happening and you're not sure, use your phone. You might be surprised on what you will find. Okay, so that's what's happening with the sun. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more about that in the coming weeks and months. So stay tuned for that. Why don't we turn our attention to the night sky, the stars and constellations and planets? Here's my planetarium program, Sky Safari Pro, that I like to use. And we have it set for now, but let's go and set it for just after sunset. Let's go an hours later, and here's the sun, and look, lo and behold, you've got some planets and the moon highlighting the evening sky. So again, this is what we're seeing here is just after sunset, maybe about a half hour, 45 minutes after your local sunset, looking towards the western sky. And what do we see? Brilliant Venus. That's still gonna knock your eyes out. It's so bright. but make sure you have a good view towards the western horizon. That's going to be key. So try to find a spot maybe by a lakeside or something like that, or on a rooftop, a hilltop, something where there's no trees or buildings in the way, looking towards the west. You'll definitely be able to see Venus. No doubt it'll be the first star-like object that will pop into view as darkness falls. Again, this is the view on Wednesday, July 19th, tonight. This is what you'll see. And guess what? Lo and behold, there is the crescent moon, the waxing crescent moon, very, very thin, whisker thin, and the mouth of Leo, the lion constellation. And the brightest star of Leo is Regulus, right above Venus. This star is 78 light years away, right above planet Venus. And if you look very carefully to the upper left of this duo of Venus and Regulus, that's where Mars is. And, it's amazing. Mars right now is quite far away from us. Really, really far. In fact, I can just check here. It's 346 million kilometers away. It means that light takes over 19 minutes to reach your eye. And guess what? I just closed off my wonderful software. Let me just open it back up again. There we go. And this is amazing that we can actually see Mars, despite it being so far away. So it takes over 19 minutes for the light from this red planet to arrive here. And that's why it's so faint in our skies. It's literally almost on the other side of the sun right now, very distant from us, yet we can still see it by the light of the sun, right? Too, it's reflecting off the surface. Another bonus is we can see Mercury. Mercury is Mercury down here is very tricky, and the window of opportunity seeing it, I would say, is difficult right now. Very difficult. Let me just show you again. The sun sets, and you can see Mercury right there by this animation of the bridge there, right there. So I would say very tricky. Probably unlikely that you'll get much of a view. Definitely binoculars. Binoculars will be what you will need to see the moon and even have any hope of seeing Mercury right now. Now, if we move this later into the week, the moon will jump over to Mars. Really fantastic. So this is Thursday 20th. Fantastic view of moon next to Mars. If you're not sure where Mars is, the moon is going to guide you to the red planet. Again, this is Thursday, July 20th. Just a gorgeous sight. If I just zoom in there, you can see this is the view that you'll have Thursday night. Isn't that gorgeous? You'll see planets and stars and the moon all huddled together in one part of the early evening sky. Again, the trick here is finding a spot that's clear towards the west, no obstruction, and the timing, folks. The timing, that's what it's all about, is waiting for about a half hour after your local sunrise and not too much more than an hour to really get that beautiful view of the dusk, colors of the sky, and allowing it to be dark enough for Mars and Regulus, the star, to kind of come into view. Otherwise, you may get blinded by that glare of the sunset and it'll be lost there. So that's why timing is so important when you're watching for some of these things at sunset, these kind of things that I'm describing. So just be patient and bring your pair of binoculars out as well. It'll make quite a difference into your views that you're going to get. So that is what's up there. Also very interesting is with the moon being, really low in the sky in the evening. Like if this is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you see where the moon is, still very far away. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So this is by Monday next week. The moon is going to be near quarter moon, but look where it is. It's near that star Spica, a distinctly blue star. So this is Monday, July 24th, the evening. We'll talk about this again next week's episode, but I just want to give you a heads up. That's where the moon is heading. And you can see it's heading towards being more lit. It's really, really interesting. But if we move back to where it is this week, Thursday and Friday, one of the great aspects also of the moon I want you to kind of keep an eye out for is called Earthshine. This is a really neat effect. This is the effect that you've probably seen, but you kind of weren't sure that you can, the effect where you see that super thin crescent moon, right? And then you can still see the darker unlit portion of the disk of the moon, right? See that darker unlit portion. If I maybe look at it, take it an hour later there. Let me see. Too much there. Too much. Let's see if I can just do it for a few minutes like that. And we're getting darker and darker. And you can see clearly when it gets dark enough, there's that unlit portion of the moon. This is called Earthshine. Literally, it's the sunlight bouncing off the clouds and the oceans of the Earth and reflecting back onto the moon, the disk of the moon, and allows you to see that unlit portion of the moon. It's called Earthshine. It's a really beautiful effect. Check it out. Best time is going to be Thursday night and Friday night. Really, I would say for Earthshine. Hopefully you'll have some clear skies this week for that. Now, what else is there to see? Now, with the moon setting really early in the evening, it leaves behind a dark sky. And I want you to take a look at one of the most iconic things in the Northern Hemisphere, which is called the summer triangle. And if I just set this for an hour later, so we get the dark sky, the moon is set already following the sun, and it leaves behind this wonderfully dark sky for us to investigate different things in the sky. And one of the things that I like, let me see if I can turn on. For some reason, I don't have the star name. So in my Sky Safari Pro, I'm going to set this magnitude like that and maybe be able to, there we go, and see some of these stars. Okay. Let's unlock that there. And there are 3 stars here, Vega, Deneb, and Altair. And these 3 stars are super bright. You can see them in the suburbs of the sky. And it's a kind of a landmark in learning the night sky using these 3 stars. Each of these stars belong to their own constellation. And it's just something that's really easy to see. And you can see right here, there is Deneb, there is Altair, and there is Vega. Vega will be the highest, closest to, see it says zenith up here? Zenith literally means straight above. So in the early evening, or maybe later evening, I'd say around 10 or 11 or even up to midnight, looking straight up, very close to there, is going to be a very bright star, and that is Vega. Vega is about 25 light years away. Then you have Altair, which is about, I think, let me see, 17 light years away. And, oh my gosh, there I go again. What have I done? I've closed my planetarium program. I keep doing that. Hold on. Bear with me. And here we have Altair, like I said, and then Deneb, which is the third star that makes this giant triangle in the sky. I know it looks small here, guys. I know it's on my planetarium program, but in the sky, it actually takes up a massive amount of room. You'll be very surprised. And that's something that why I'm pointing this out is to get a sense of perspective. Many times people see, you're leafing through these books, guidebooks and star charts, and you see these patterns of stars, right? Constellations or these kind of patterns like the summer triangle, and you're looking for something small in the sky. No, we're looking for something really big. That pattern translates into something much bigger than what's in your book, in your guide, or on your phone or tablet that you're looking at. It's much, much bigger in the sky. So look for this big giant triangle in the sky made up of the 3 stars, Vega at 25 light years away, Altair here at 17 light years away, and then Deneb is a whopping, get this, 1,300 light years away. It's really incredible that you can see all 3 of these stars. They all are super bright despite vastly difference in their distances from Earth. So it's really amazing, and it's something this week is fantastic to see. And as a bonus, if you happen to be in a dark countryside. Maybe you're at a country cottage or you're camping or something. You're lucky to be where there's no light pollution. Look for that beautiful arch of the Milky Way. This time of the year, the summertime in the northern hemisphere and the wintertime in the southern hemisphere, is a great time to look for that beautiful arch of the Milky Way. And it runs right through the middle of this triangle that I have here marked out. So definitely look for that. Let me see if I can get that, show the asterisms there. And there we go. You can see I marked it out kind of with an orange lining there, the 3 stars. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. The summer triangle you don't want to miss. So there you go, folks. There's a whole bunch of stuff for us this week. And because the moon is setting early, you get to see some interesting stuff of the crescent moon pairing up with planets and stars. And then when it sets, you get to explore the deep sky. This is a great opportunity this week without the moon's glare to see constellations and learn how to navigate the night sky. And the summer triangle is the first landmark. I want you to learn that, find that this week, and share that with me on my timeline. Whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, I'd love to hear from you. And please don't forget to show your support by subscribing to my channel. Now, if you want to look and explore more about astronomy, I recommend, of course, my book, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky, published by National Geographic, so you know you're getting something of quality. Amazing sky charts, maps galore, and lots of information about how to explore the sky. If you're a true beginner and you're not going to get any other book, this is a great beginner's guide. It gives you from A to Z information, how to buy telescopes, how to choose binoculars, how to use just your eye in navigating everything and in the sky, and learning about stars, comets, solar eclipses. Everything is covered in here. If you're wanting to something a little bit more in depth, then I recommend Stargazer's Atlas. This is a book that I co-authored, 6.5 pounds. It's a huge coffee table book, so it's not something you pack in your backpack. This is something that you use at home, kind of prepare your cosmic journey in advance. All sky maps of every single 88 of constellations, mythology, deep sky objects, hundreds and hundreds of deep sky objects that I've personally curated for each and every constellation. This is available also at bookstores, recently published, as you can see. And it is, I'm making both of those available as signed, personally dedicated copies on my website. It makes a great gift. If you're interested, just go to my website, thenightskyguy.com, and follow the links to both these books and order them. And I will personally sign them and send them out to you wherever you are around the world. International shipping, by the way. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your few minutes together. Let's do some sky watching this week. I hope you're going to stay safe and healthy. And until the next video, I wish you all clear skies. Bye-bye.